and distractions. Let me share my screen. 1 sec. Meanwhile, why don't we start with Almond?
Hey everyone, GM. My intention for this call is to keep learning about the Giveth governance because I'm still like kind of new and some things are still hard for me to like understand. And my distractions are that maybe I will make some breakfast. But yeah, and I pass it to Franco.
Thank you, Almond. Hi, everyone. Intention for the call, just listen in, see what's happening. And distractions, no distractions for now. And I'll pass it to Freshelle.
Hi everyone. My intentions for this call is to remind those who have hourly contracts to send me your August hours by the end of this month because I will be processing the payments this week and also the next. And my distraction is that I just have cough. So yeah, that's it for me. I'll pass it to Jess. Jess, are you there? Okay, I think you're muted, so I'll just pass it to Mateo.
Thank you, Rochelle. Hey, everyone. Hope you have an excellent new week. Not distracted, I'll be calling in the background, but I'm here to listen, to participate if I have to, but just to keep up to date and in sync. I'll pass it to Kai. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah, my intention is to get updated. I did miss the last one. I realize it's a bit of a slower time now that so many people are at Burning Man. My envy is huge, but you guys are here, so we share something. Not being at Burning Man, always. Yeah, and my distraction is I'm frying some chicken on the side, but I will manage. I give it to Jake.
Thank you. Intentions is just to stay up on course with what's going on. Distractions, I'm joining from my phone today, so it can always be a little tricky with that. I will pass it along to Corey if she's there.
Hi, yes, thank you. My intention is to just stay up to date and sync up on things. I don't really have any distractions other than I have a delivery coming in a couple minutes. And focusing on moving some comms forward this week while everyone's at Burning Man. We'll go ahead and I'll pass this. Nick, did you go already?
No, I haven't. Thanks, Corey. Yeah, I'm doing great this week. My intention for this call is just to be updated and to give buddy call reminders as usual. And yeah, focus for the week will be facilitating buddy calls and onboarding Kurt, who will be starting this week. So yep. Passing it to whoever is not yet done. I think I'm the last one. Am I? Oh no, Tropical Mango.
I can go.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thanks. So intention, same as everybody else, to get caught up with what's happening. Also, I was hoping to get a little bit of feedback on, I have a question about the presentation I'm putting together, like the Giveth donor presentation. And I would love to ask a question to the group and see what you guys think. And yeah, that's basically something. If there's time, I hope to squeeze in at the end of the call. And I'll pass it to Mo. Did you go?
No, I'll take it. Thanks. Hello guys, GM everyone. So my intentions for this call is to sync up with the governance stuff with everybody else. I don't recall when was the last time I joined a governance meeting, but that was a long time ago. My distractions are like currently a lot of stuff in the dev world, so that's that. And yeah, that's me. Back to you, Kotabe.
Thanks, Mo. Well, on my side, my intentions is to facilitate this as best as possible. And my distractions are, I'm typing, taking notes, and that's it. No more distractions. Okay. So what I wanted to do for this community call, since there is a lot of people that I think that are new here, I discussed this with Ashley. And I think we still don't have such a robust mechanism to kind of like, for any newcomer, really understand the whole governance process. So I kind of like wanted to leave some space, since it's going to be slower this week because a lot of people are not here, so that we can ask questions and try to answer them as best as possible. I'm so happy that Mateo is here, Freshel, and many people that have more time than me, because I don't feel like I have all the answers. I have a few questions myself, but I've been trying to engage with the governance, and yeah, I've been learning, and yeah, just wanted to give some time for this. I don't know, does anyone oppose, or what do you think? Is anyone excited about knowing a little bit more of the governance process? Does anyone also feel that they have questions to be answered?
I think it's a good idea. Thank you.
Okay, awesome, great.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I thought so, especially because I mean, we have like Amon is new, Franco, you're new, Tropical Mango, you're also relatively new, Jake maybe like already past the trial period, but also quite new, and Nico too, although I think probably Nico, you see these topics more often. Anyways, so please, Mateo, correct me if I say anything stupid. So we can go to the documentation. Like the TLDR is always nice to see. So in general, how it works, for soft consensus, we can reach out to anyone working at Giveth too and just DM. I think that's the best initial stage. Like, I don't know, someone that has a little bit more experience. I don't know, sometimes I DM Ashley and, hey Ashley, what do you think about this? Just to I don't know, to get someone else's mind, to dig in someone else's mind that has more experience in just very basic questions. And sometimes it says like, well, I think it's good. I think we can improve that. Let's get it into the forum and get this 5-day advice process, right? So we start there. Once that we have, in my opinion, the way that I see it, there is this kind of like working group sort of autonomy, and if the topic only relates to the working group, then it might not need to go to the forum. It really depends how much does it affects others, but I think that we also don't want to just have the forum swamped and then not really being able to give enough time to the things that are really important. And so there might be things that we can solve ourselves. I will say that's the first. Like if something is not going to affect the whole organization, first solve ourselves, then within our working group or circle, and then if it's something bigger, if we really want the collective intelligence of the team, which I think is great, we can first ask it in Discord. But if it's very important, then I think that we go to the forum. And then once that we go to the forum, it gives this 5-day advice process some posts, as you have seen, they get a lot of engagement. Some others don't. And we have to chill them a little bit. And especially if we want the opinion of someone, it's okay if we reach out to this person or this group of people and say, hey, guys, I really would like to get to know your opinion. Like if it's something related to developers, then we can put it on the developers group and it's like, hey, I posted this on the forum, but I really would like to get the comments and advice from the developers perspective. And after that advice process, you will feel like if it's in 5 days, if it got enough comments and it kind of like evolves, then that's fine. You can move it forward. You can also discuss it here. This is why the governance call is for, so that after you put something on the forum, we can discuss it a little bit here. And yeah, and also in probably the meeting of the circle. Anyways, and once that we need to make a decision, if we need to make a decision on the DAO, like Give Gardens is a great place for requesting funds. From the whole community will vote on things that are convenient for Giveth. And it uses conviction voting, which is basically an aggregation of the votes that you're giving and the amount of time that it's set. And I'm not too savvy on the details on how our parameters are. But I know that they used to be a little bit looser, and with austerity measures, we can like tighten them up a little bit. So yeah, that's on the Give Gardens. If we need to make a decision that does not request or does not necessarily needs funds, then Snapshot is the place. We have, I think, 3 different options of votes on the Snapshot. And NRGive or the RDAO is where people that have been more than 3 months, like I'm just making my first votes on the NRDAO. Yeah, and that's where we are also voting some things from the people that been working on the DAO. So I know. I hope that you have already, especially Katia, Almond, if you already have Give tokens, I hope that you are little by little starting to join. Like this is a snapshot, just going in, signing in, and start voting on things. I know sometimes it's very complicated. Like the first time, some of my first votes were, oh, should we extend the Giveth farms with I don't know how many million gives? And I'm like, how am I going to vote for that? I have no idea. I really don't get too much tokenomics, so I can like ask around. I think that's the best way, and just kind of like go with the feeling of what, make your own mind just listening to what people are saying. But it is complicated. It is. I still feel complicated. Like I still feel like it's complicated for me. Anyways, but it's good to like that we all start voting. Because that's what makes us feel more confident on and get to know more what is happening. We'll get there. I'm getting there, and I hope that you will too. So this is a snapshot. These are the gardens. All of them are here on the Notion. Let me see. I have them somewhere here. I think they're quick links. So snapshot, NRGive. If you have some problems with NRGive, just reach out. Sometimes there are some issues with the RPCs, I think. So kind of like the directions that were saved on MetaMask. It's a very easy fix. Just if you have kind of like the blog on how to do it. But it's good that you start going in here. Like if it were to me and if we were at the school, I will say everyone that has not joined these links, do it, even though there are no open votes right now on Snapshot or the NRGive. Just go there for the first time and kind of like get familiar a little bit with it. Yeah, and on the Give Garden, I do believe that there is one. There is a top up for the translations to Spanish and Portuguese. Sorry, my internet's a bit slow today. Anyways, I will stop talking. I'm talking too much. Does anyone has questions?
Yeah, I have one question. What's the difference voting in Snapshot? Snapshot, like you have voting in the gardens for proposals that are requesting money, and then Snapshot is to vote for things that are posted on the forum, or like what's the difference between those platforms, like Gardens and Snapshot?
Exactly. So Snapshot is more general, and it's just kind of like get a signal for the whole community, and you have their single choice voting, which is yes or no, basically yes, no, or abstain. We have ranked choice voting, which is so the options. This is my favorite. This is my second favorite, so on and so forth. And I think that there was one more. Basic voting, single choice voting. Oh, I think the first ones, I don't know if there is a difference. At least I'm confused here from the way that the documentation is written. It seems that they are kind of like the same thing. This is a simple single choice voting strategy. You'll have a range of options and you can only pick one. In basic, okay, so single choice, you can only pick one, but it can be anything. And basic voting is just yes, no, or abstain, I believe. I don't know. Does anyone has more, can say more on this? Anyone more experienced than me, Kai or Mateo, maybe?
Yeah, essentially a snapshot is just like a soft agreement based on the give amount that you have. So let's say you upload a proposal on the forum, and a first signal could be uh, uh, a question, a poll in there. If you want to bring more like power, or say how much people are agreeing with that, you do the snapshot. And sometimes we use this instead of the gardens because it's just more straightforward for some cases. Even though I think that the authors in the snapshot are just are limited. I think it's Mitch, Griff, and not sure who else. So that's also an important thing to know. Not everyone can just upload a snapshot there. So
I didn't know that.
yeah, so it's just like the second stage is you do a poll. The first stage is you do a poll on the forum. The second one is okay, you just pass the 5 times on that Visal, and then Mitch, or yeah, it's essentially Mitch right now. I think Lauren is also available to do a poll in there, and then that's like the pre-stage before going to the gardens and request money if needed. So I think that's like the order of things.
Oh, that's super useful. So the process would be first, well, maybe some like one way, because I know that there are different ways depending on the case, but first would be go to the forum, then would be post it on Snapshot, but like not everyone can do that. And then the last stage or step would be gardens,
Yeah.
maybe.
Essentially, if you pass the advice process in the forum, you go to Snapshot through Mitch or Lauren or Griff. They are the ones that make the voting. And then, if needed, because not every time is needed, you go to the garden. The garden is basically for asking funds. The Snapshot is more of a soft agreements or on things.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
I have a question, like how often the voting happens.
So every time that there is a decision to make and we can post it, we post them. And I think all of the different platforms have different time windows to vote. So on the gardens, it stays there until it's either passed or rejected. And since it's conviction voting, like it needs that people are locking their give behind it for like a specific amount of time. The less give that is locked there, the longer the time that it will need to pass, and probably it won't pass if it doesn't reaches a certain milestone. Whereas, for example, on the I don't know, actually on NRGive, on Aragon, I don't know if there is a period of time. Do you know, Mateo?
Sorry, what was the question?
What's the window of time for? I believe that the question was how much time do we have for voting? Was it that, Katia, or am I misunderstanding the question?
Yeah, like how often are the votes happening? And then that's a second good like follow-up actually that I was wondering too, is how much time do we actually have to vote? And then where would we find out about, like, do you have to go into each platform to see what's happening, or is there some sort of central place where we can see all the decisions that need to be made across all the platforms?
Yeah, that last one is super hard. There is no. Oh, Kai, you were going to say something?
Yeah, the governance channel, I would say. I mean, these are all very fluid things. I don't know. I have so many things to say, so I don't want to really. It really depends on the decision. Like the gravity. We had this great metrics back in the day. Maybe I can dig it up and post it later. It meant how decisions should be, carried out. Like there is some things about the decision, like is it reversible, for example. If it's not reversible at all, or like if it's reversible to a high degree, you would treat it differently in advice process. And all these tools are part of advice process, even Snapshot. Because the one for voting is really the on-chain stuff. Snapshot, as we said, is really more for opinion harvesting on a multiple choice thing. If you think it should be more official than what's in the forum, but still not, on chain, because also on chain we don't have these different types that we saw before in the documentation. But I think I did not answer the question. Yeah, I did answer the question. So the best way to see what to vote on is this meeting, the governance channel. Having an active governance process is at this point still the only and easiest way.
Yeah, and the other questions, particularly for the snapshot, you only require quorum. You don't have a time limit, so you can vote anytime. It's not like time limited. So once the 1 million give is reached, then the voting is ready to go, and we can like say that the people has spoken. For the Aragon, that is the NRGIF, we do have 4 days, I think, time slot, so for you to reach quorum and a minimum of approval. So it's a little bit more rough because directly on Aragon we handle how the tokens are being minted or how money is going to be spent differently than Gardens, because NRGIF is only for the internal decisions for Giveth. It's not like community based. And in Gardens, it's quadratic voting, I think. And yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
And Aragorn and Gardens are on chain, while Snapshot is off chain. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The result, yeah. Snapshot is just reading on chain what's happening with your tokens. Like it takes snapshots of blocks and your amount of tokens. For example, like when the vote starts, a snapshot is taken, and then your amount of tokens, gift tokens in our case, usually for that time, that counts. So if you during the vote would buy 100 million more, it doesn't count. It takes a snapshot at the beginning.
Oh, nice.
Okay, that was just my last question was, you know how you said if there's like 1 million give votes, then it passes? What if someone has like 500,000? Like, You know what I mean? Like, is that not taken into account, or it is? Because one person could completely sway the vote if they have the majority of tokens, right?
No,
So
no.
how does it work?
There's a difference between quorum and being approved. The quorum is the minimal amount of tokens that, yeah, it's like we can say an opinion has been given, but not necessarily it's just like what's needed to be approved. So let's say you can have different opinions, but at least there should have been a million give tokens there, so we can rely on that opinion.
Yeah, but you're right, Katya. I mean, there is a chance that if we're not decentralized enough, like there is big power on the people that may have a lot of give, and
Yeah,
that's why I think we're aiming for decentralization in many ways, including, I mean, giving givebacks. That's how we decentralize also.
awesome. Okay, yeah. I was just thinking of like Curve, where there's a couple key voters there that just completely, like, whales, and they completely just sway things to how they want. So I was wondering if we had a mechanism, but I guess that's, yeah, that's the tricky part. But okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone more questions on governance? Are we good to go? Are you going to vote? Are you going to ejercer su derecho? I don't know how to say this in English. Are you going to empower
Exercise.
yourself through voting?
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Awesome. Okay, great.
I have one question, actually, Kotabe. Could you post a link here to that spot in Notion where it has like the TLDR?
Oh yeah, that's the documentation. Give me one sec. Where do you want it on the Notion?
Yeah, basically where here was great. This is awesome with like all the links.
It's
Super
here.
helpful.
Damn, I took no notes of this. I'm sorry. And there were so many good things. Okay, I'll fill in the notes later on. Okay, so August payments. I guess Freshell, you put this, I guess, or Nico.
I placed it there, but as mentioned earlier, so currently I am processing the payments for those who are receiving fixed monthly payments, and a reminder for all those who are who have hourly contracts to send me your hours after the month ends, and then I'll process the payments after you send it or next week. So finalize your hours, send me a DM, and I'll also send a reminder for that one. And yeah, that's just it for me. And also, I'll be um adding the vote for the ETH Barcelona reimbursement, since it's been up there in the forum for 7 days. So if you have any more last minute comments or feedbacks, please post it there. And then I'll just add a vote in the Aragon. And then I'll just tag those who have Energy tokens to vote on it this week. So yes, that's it for me. Thanks, Katabe.
Thank you, Freshell, for keeping everything so tied up. So pending multi-sig transactions, there's none. I am super happy to announce that we have our bounties multi-sig running. We have tested 6 out of 8 signatures. So the ones that are missing are only Mitch that he was on vacation. He actually did everything he could to get this before, but there were a few issues and we didn't manage to. But it's been tested and the give is on the multisig. That one passed actually through NRGive. We used the budget that we had there. And I mean, also an important thing is that the budget that we have on the gardens and the budget that we have on the NR Give are a bit different. I guess sometimes we decide on the gardens if we want to kind of like put more budget on the NR Give so that people from the DAO are taking some decisions that sometimes need to be faster, or I guess have a different process than the conviction voting on the gardens. That will be my take on it. But yeah, just to mention that we pass the bounties budget through the energy. Active proposals on a snapshot. There are no active proposals on a snapshot anymore right now. I guess things are going to be quiet for a few days probably. Proposals in the Give Garden. So yeah, still right now there's only one active, which is the top up for Doc's translation in Spanish and Portuguese. Since we're here, I mean, I think Giveth has been very close to Giveth, and he was super responsive in general in the whole process, because there was some issue with another person that was going to do translations too. I kind of like popped by some documentation in Spanish recently. I have to say that it didn't feel so kind of like warm the way that I read it. It's just very opinionated. It's just my opinion. And since I'm in Spanish, we have different Spanish in Mexico and Spain and Colombia and Argentina. So, for example, in Mexico, for me, it's weird to read when we're talking in like formal second person, which is usted. Anyways, I have to check more on it, but I kind of like, I was not feeling that this is. It said all the information, but it didn't felt like having a great flow on Spanish. Anyways, that's just a comment, which I guess I should repeat next week also. But I don't know if you have any opinions about it or any other comments. And I mean, anyways, I think like, I'm not saying we shouldn't pay or anything, but maybe I think that I should give the comment to him at least.
Tavi, the second pair of eyes, I could read it and check it out.
That would be great, actually.
Yeah, me too. If you want, like, I can proofread it as well and check out. We have different kinds of Spanishes, so yeah, I can help out.
Awesome. That will be great. Because I don't even remember what did I pop with. I don't even remember what I was doing. I just remember that I read something in Spanish and I felt that it was not flowing that well. I will seek for some of those documents and send it to you so that you get your own opinions. Thank you. And yeah, if you have both, I mean, anyways, we can support this. I mean, the work is done, and I think, I mean, Mitch can say more about this, but I think that there was a person that bailed out on the translations, and Giver, he actually kind of like stepped in and gave a lot of support on that. So, anyways, that's just it. That's what I know. So that's what is in the gardens. On the NR Give DAO, there's nothing right now. So I don't think that it makes sense to have this 5 minutes pause. So this here, Katya, is usually like the moment where we read what is there in every place of our governance, and then we take these 5 minutes to vote on these things. And we're going to introduce a new section on the governance call, so which is the bounties for the week. Let's see how this goes. This is going to be the first time for this. So here and there on the Notion page, there is the link to the suggested bounties. Also here, and we can change these. Not everyone has the power for submitting bounties. I think it should be kept this way. just for having more control and accountability. I just tested the whole flow, and we actually we pay this to give from the multisig, and the multisig is working great. I think. Let me see. Maybe this actually. Oh yeah, it says completed. Nice. So I don't remember. I don't even know who were the other people that tested it, but it seems to be working perfectly. And right now, the things that I wanted to kind of like get soft consensus on are these 4 things. So there is a bounty for the nice POAP. So all people that are donating for nice, like to the Giveth project, and that are being nice to Giveth, that are donating stable coins, are going to be acknowledged through a POAP. And this was actually something that we just wanted to test how the work is working for this, for design. It's kind of like a nice test. We have talked about it. I would like to kind of like get soft consensus during the governance call to see if we can like move this one forward. Here are the details. Let's see. I think Mitch already wrote the specifics. So it's open to submissions. So this means that different people can submit different designs, and we're going to pay only to the one that we choose to. Bounty will receive a contract. Oh yeah. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, I should. Here are the design guidelines, our brand book. So we're offering kind of like making our documentation open so that they can see what's our branding, colors, some of the designs that we have. The info on the documentation, previous POAPs that have been designed for Giveth, have been designed by Giveth for Giveth. A little information about the mission of this: design one POAP for Giveth according to our brand guidelines. Win the bounty plus a contract to make more for Giveth. Oh, I didn't know that it was kind of like a contract. This is interesting. I guess that it's also being used kind of like for sourcing talent. Yeah, and the submissions format, and Mitch wrote the specs for this. So we are going to pay only 30, which is not much. It's I think like $1.50 right now. Yeah, we can see how that goes. Do anyone has some comments here for this bounty?
I think it is $30 in give. It's not $1.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Yes, you're right. Thank you so much. Yes, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Any comments?
$1 is not enough for the work.
No, it's great. Anyone has kind of like any strong opposition or any oppositions or any comments on it? Or anyone believes that this should definitely go through the forum? Because that's what we agreed. We agreed that we're going to talk about the bounties, and we're going to have like soft consensus on the governance. We'll see if there will be a matter of like how much money is it, because I don't think that it's the same a decision of like $30 against a decision of like $2,000. But in general, we said that we will have soft consensus here if we can kind of like streamline it, the decision, or if we need to go through the forum and advice process. So any strong oppositions or anyone believes that this should go through the forum, this nice POAP bounty? Okay, so let's try it out. What else? Create a Giveth ETH Barcelona after movie. I sorry, didn't finish. One sec. So these ones I wrote, but I think that they are still not detailed enough. So I will be the first one to oppose them, and I just wanted you to know kind of like what were being proposed here, and I want to work on this for this week. Create a Giveth ETH Barcelona after movie. We've been discussing on the community circle about having a podcast regarding to the makers, but I think we have not seen how it works. Like we want to have like a Twitter space with Meet the Makers, and maybe this one turn into a podcast, but we have not defined the clear idea of if we want to have it like being the same project, different projects, or how do we want them to be. And so these are just being discussed, but I don't think right now they are RIP enough or ready enough to be passed as bounties. And the other one, which I'm super excited about, is to have a Giveth donor referral program. This one is going to be tricky, and I think that we're going to need to have a lot of input from the developers, because what we believe that should be a spec is that we don't pay for like referrals additional give, because that's going to be way more gameable, but we actually give to the referrals part of the give backs that are supposed to go to the donor, and so the referrals get just part of that, and it's not something additional that can be more gameable. So that's what we have discussed on that topic, but we still don't have the specs. So I suggest not to have these ones, but I suggest to have to pass the nice POAP. Anyone has different opinions?
I have a question regarding ETH Barcelona. That bounty will be open to everyone, right? Not only for people at Giveth. So like anyone that just want to catch that can take it and like create an after. That's it?
Yes.
Okay. I was thinking that I don't know, maybe it's my perception, but I think that creating a bounty for creating an after movie for Giveth at an event that's super specific, I don't know if that is a good fit for a bounty. Like for one side, I don't know if well, that's only like my opinion, but and on the other side, I feel that if Barcelona happened a long time ago, maybe it's just that not very like time accurate, maybe. But yeah.
Oh, you mean like relevant is the word I think we're looking for?
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know if it's just like because DevCon is coming and like a lot of things happen in the mid time of like in Barcelona, so maybe it's like a little not up to date.
That's fair. I understand it, and I agree with it. We discussed about this. I mean, 2-3 weeks ago, before like when we were trying to set up the bounties budget. There's a part of me that says, well, I don't know, it will be nice because it was kind of like a conference where a lot of people from Giveth met for the first time. So it really depends on the optics and what are we using it for. I still think that we have like great material on that, but yeah, I can see also how it it's not as relevant anymore. And I mean, for posting it or things like that, it's probably it's been some time already.
I think it depends how you frame it. I think you could still create a movie. This is my throwing in my opinion on it. I really agree that it's time has passed, that it'll by the time we have that produced and like actually going out, it's like many months later and there's like a ton of conferences happening this fall. But instead, it could be you could still use the footage and maybe tell a story about Giveth, and the Giveth team and depends what the footage is exactly. And yes, it happens to be like all from being at ETH Barcelona, but it really depends on how it's cut and how it's framed and how the story is told. You know what I mean? So you could use that footage and we could reference ETH Barcelona, but it doesn't have to be an ETH Barcelona after movie. It's just a movie about Giveth, for example.
Yeah, I like that. And yeah, maybe it's still not the right timing because I don't know. Maybe some people will meet also at DevCon. Maybe after we meet also for a retreat sometime. We are going to have more of a story to tell. Maybe it's a nice idea, but it's not the best time right now because we might not have as much content. All the content we have is from ETH Barcelona, and as you say, it's kind of like outdated already, especially in crypto world.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe there's more footage that can be used from Bogota and combined into some sort of like Giveth, a year in Giveth, I don't know, or like something posted like around, later in the year as like a recap of Giveth on the ground or something like this, I think there's a million ways it could be spun. It's just about not titling it as ETH Barcelona after movie, It's just about Giveth. And I think that could be done at any time. I was talking about this the other day, or talking about this a few weeks ago, also with like Lauren and some other people in comms. Like just in general, I think storytelling around the team is super important, especially if we want to get more projects on board, and you want to get donors like personally invested. People invest in teams. They invest in like the people behind a product. They don't, like people do invest in products sometimes, but like it's a whole other ballgame when they know who's working on it. And so it could really be used in that way, maybe to just tell the story about the people behind Giveth. And then the footage, it doesn't. I mean, if it's all from Barcelona, that's fine. But the movie doesn't have to be a recap of that conference. That's how I would see it. Yeah.
No, I love that way of seeing it. I think that it will be great to have like some video made out of like Giveth, not Giveth at ETH Barcelona. I think that makes a lot more sense, and we can plan it ahead. Great. Thanks, Salmon. Thanks, Corey, for great insights. Anyone else has more comments? Okay, let's move on. So, I mean, forum's still quite active. I don't update this as much. I'm sorry, but let's see. Let's do a little bit of like checking out the forum live. We have 7 minutes, and I want to respect your time, but we have on the forum. So as you can see, in comparison to other days, like that, this is like, there is some opinions on this like one day ago, and now right now the forum is a bit slowed down, like has a bit slowed down a bit, which is nice. There's still like really a lot of interesting topics there where you can contribute and give your own opinion. I don't know if anyone wants to chill like their own. If you want more advice on what you've been writing, I know. So we have role proposals here, give power testing that already happened. So I think that the most relevant right now are the round 16 GiveX distribution. Well, that one was also on our Give, and I believe it passed. It was a quick vote. Maybe these two. It's Safari Giveth media partnership, especially for people in comms and the community working group. I think it's going to be interesting to see how can we support each other or what is being asked. I actually don't know. Let's dive in very quickly. Just a call to discuss. Yeah. Okay. Jake has engaged here. Also, Ashley. Maybe it had to do with that they were on the community spotlight. I don't know. Maybe there is something that is being taken forward. Jake, do you have something to add into this?
No, nothing's really gone on with that since starting it. So, nope, still pretty quiet.
Okay, awesome. And like the other one that is right now being a bit more active is Giving Blocks integration moving forward. Not too familiar with this. Mateo, I see that you commented. Would you like to oh, it's for a long time. I don't know, Mateo, do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, the discussion is really broad, but I'm not sure what's going to happen there. I have a certain opinion in there, but yeah, it's hard because a lot of giving block projects are shown in our application, and we are not really sure if they are bringing that value that we were promised. So yeah, many opinions. You can read that out there, but no, we haven't made a decision just yet. So it's hard.
Okay, awesome. So, okay, I think I got the context. Basically, with Giving Block, a lot of the projects that are on Giving Block are on Giveth, and they can were passed from one to the other. But some of those projects don't even know that they have their project on Giveth. So there is, and this probably should be discussed more in the communities working group and maybe communications. Should we make an attempt to reach out to get them also engaged as makers into the Giveth economy and to get donors on Giveth? Or because it's like having them, but they don't know, not knowing that they are on Giveth, it's kind of like a zero sum game. Like it's really not giving any value, and sometimes it kind of gives some issues and problems. Also, for the optics, it's not so nice to see that these projects have zero money donated, zero engagement, zero nothing. So I don't know. This can be something that we can discuss a little bit further on the communities and communications working group or calls. Someone else wants to tap on this before we move forward? Okay, so I know, Freshel, you always have some PSAs.
For the body review call, yeah, can you help me out here, Nico? He's handling this.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so just some reminders for our buddy review. Yeah, if you haven't had any buddy review for the last 3 months, please schedule a call. And we've actually made a buddy call tracker, starting a quarter 3, so that we guys can keep track of all the buddy review calls that will be happening moving forward. So, please let me know, before you schedule your buddy call, so that I can gather all the responses and I can send it to you in one document. So yeah, praise to Ashley for having her buddy review calls last week. So guys, please, yeah, have your buddy review calls for the month of September. Thank you. Back to you, Katabe.
Awesome. Well, if is there anything else that you want to discuss? I think from the agenda, that's mostly it. I know that I still have to develop my governance facilitation, like governance call facilitation skills. I think it didn't go in so bad. Anyways, thanks everyone for being here. And if anyone has anything to add, this is the time.
Praise Kotabe. Good job,
You
man.
did great.
Well
You did
done,
great.
Kotabe. Really nice change of pace to start it up.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. I really thought that it was important, to go through the governance part that as a newcomer, you never really go into.
Yes. Thank you. I found it
Awesome.
very valuable.
Yeah, it was really
Thank
helpful.
you.